When I was 19 years old, I bench pressed 160 kilos at roughly 107 kilos body weight. Now, I still know that those activities are reminiscent of fat fucking people. And you know, I was a bit on the obese side, but you know, what can you do? Gotta get on the green teas, bro. See this? This is because your boy don't fuck with no microplastics, bro. You know what they seal them fucking tea bags with, bro? Fucking glue, bro. Every time you heat them bags up, just ingesting fucking glue, bro. I ain't trying to ingest no one's glue, except for that man's glue. You know what I'm saying?
It's an evil world we live in.
160 kilos, 19 years old, solid. Then, last year, 20 years old, we were running the 170. We were trying our best. I attempted it like 5 times, bro. Got it like halfway every time. And I was just like, fuck this, bro, I'm done. I gave up. I did it with the 1-inch block. Boom, bro. Literally got it. It was sick. Just couldn't get the actual lift. Yeah. So, you might have heard of something called Smolov Jr. This is an insanely high frequency and high intensity program that basically forces you to gain muscle and strength. Isn't that right? And apparently it works. I've heard that people can add anywhere from 5 all the way up to like 20 pounds on their bench press or squat. Damn, bro, that's some good stuff. And in 3 to 4 weeks as well. And I was like, fuck, man, maybe I'm gonna give this a shot. But the thing is, it's a very high frequency, very high intensity program that has you benching 4 times a week. And I was like, I don't know if I'm up for that. So I've made my own version of it called Sebby Jr. Sebby Swole Jr. I'm still thinking of a name. I'll be running this for the next 3 weeks and documenting every lift, every session. Instead of 4 times a week, I'll be doing 3 times a week, but with the same amount of volume. I will also have changed the exercises slightly because I feel like doing the normal bench press that often will fuck me up. So I've popped in a tiny bit of floor press and a slightly closer grip on one of the days. Besides that though, same shit. So we're gonna be hitting Monday, Wednesday and Friday with the bench. Tuesday we're hitting a light leg session. Thursday, Saturday, Sunday I've got off. You might be thinking to yourself, fuck man, you're gonna need to recover really well. I know. That's why I'm gonna be eating a lot, sleeping as best as I can, focusing really hard on my training. And I'm also gonna be using these. Coming in another video. Not sponsored. I bought these actually like almost a year ago and I forgot about it. These are those mouth tape things to stop yourself snoring. You know, so I can improve my oxygen levels. You know, so I can get back to, you know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's get after it. Follow me along as I attempt to add as many fucking kilos to my bench press in 3 fucking weeks. So starting off with day 1, we've got the heavy bench day. So I created this bench day using a combination of the Smolov Jr. day 3 and day 4. So day 3 is supposed to be 8 sets of 4 at 80%. For this program, I got rid of 2 of the sets. That's the only proper modification I've made. So instead we'll be doing 6 sets. I also then have combined it with the day 4, which is 10 sets of 3. So for this bench day, you do 10 sets of 3 at 85%. Then afterwards, you do 4 sets of 4 at 80%. Then on the second bench day, which is a Wednesday, you do 2 sets of floor press at 85% before the rest of the benching for that day. So that's the main modification I've made to suit me better. So for some feedback on that first set you just saw, that was 140. I haven't touched that weight on bench in about a year. And so for my first time touching that in quite a while, it felt really good, can't lie. First set was a bit shaky, but not that bad to be honest. As the sets progress here, you can see both my form improving and also degrading a bit because of the build-up of fatigue. So good thing, because I really noticed all the form cues were coming back into my head really quickly. But obviously, as you can see in this set here, I'm starting to get really tired and the reps are really starting to slow down towards the end. But that's okay, got another 4 sets. So for the 4 sets of 4 at 80% afterwards, which translates to 132 kilos for me, this was absolutely brutal. I was so done. 14 sets of bench press in. It sucked, but we got through it. As you can see, the reps are definitely starting to slow down and get pretty grindy, but that's what it's all about, man. Got to keep pushing. So after the 14 sets of bench, we then moved on to 6 sets of chest support T-bar rows using the semi-neutral grip. This is going to give me a good balance of both lats and upper back. But at this point I was really just screaming, like I was so fried already, but like, man, you got to get through it, got to get that back work in. My grip was absolutely toast. My hands were so sore after this session, and I left my straps at home, so kept having to take these tiny breaks between the sets just because like my hands were so sore. Kept dropping the weight, as you can see in the clips on the screen. But we got through it. It was definitely a good pairing to balance out all of that pressing. And to finish off, we did 3 sets of 10 to 20 on the chest support reverse fly. Really good for engaging posterior delt, side delt, bit of the traps as well, just finishing it off. This is like the only accessory. I was going to do some tricep push downs just for a set or two. I ended up doing them at home with my bands. You could do them in the gym if you've had the energy, but I was completely wrecked. Moving on to our one and only leg day. This is a pretty easy and simple leg day, just because we're not trying to focus on our legs, we're not trying to grow them, we're trying to grow our bench press. So it's only here to maintain our size. So starting off with 5 sets of belt squat. So I did 3 heavier sets of 8 with 7 plates, so 280 kilos. I don't count the weight of the machine because it weighs fucking nothing. And I did 2 sets of 5 plates, which is 200 for 10 to 12. I'm pretty bent over when I do them, just because that's just how I like to do them. I like bending over. I don't know, that's just always how I've done them. I'm a pretty tall guy, I'm 6'2", so for me when I squat, I've got to bend further forward, otherwise I just can't get good depth. You only need really a couple of exercises to get an effective leg day in. You know, if you hit a squat and you hit a hamstring curl like we're going to, you're pretty much covering 90% of your basis in terms of growing your legs. It's more about the intensity and the quality of your sets rather than doing a bunch of different exercises, in my opinion. The 2 things I've always done to grow my legs was some sort of squat, usually a barbell squat. I did that for years. And then good mornings with a barbell. Beautiful. That's the killer combo right there. So we then hit 5 sets of seated hamstring curls. One of the best hammy builders in the game. We hit around 6 to 8 reps. Really trying to get that full stretch, control every rep. Beautiful hammy builder. It's really all you need. Then we moved on to 2 sets of 10 to 20, but you could do an AMRAP of Bosu ball leg raises using a 12.5 kilo dumbbell here, just feeling it out. So as you can see, the leg day is pretty short, pretty simple, but we're really not trying to focus on legs at all, just enough volume and intensity to maintain them. Day 3 now, so we're starting off with those 2 sets of floor press that I talked about from the day 1. So I ended up doing 130 here, didn't have the 2 kilo plates, so hit that for 4. My chest was absolutely cooked on this day. Like, I was in so much pain. I felt like I was going to tear something, but I pushed through it all. Absolutely brutal, the worst. Like, I've never been in more pain benching in my life. So the reps weren't that great. Now we're doing the 7 sets of 5 with 124. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely fried me. As you can see on this set right here, I'm really starting to slow down, but I'm really trying to keep it as mechanically sound as possible. That's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get those quality reps. But yeah, really starting to slow down and grind. Then we finished up with 5 sets of 10 on the lat pull down. I know my form isn't the greatest. I was absolutely wrecked at this point. I just really wanted to go home. Supposed to on this day hit some biceps. I ended up not doing them, and I did them at home the next day, Thursday, which is a rest day. So supposed to do those though, and you can hit some optional lateral raises if you feel like it, but I was so cooked I couldn't be bothered. So we're now moving on to the fourth day, which is the light bench press day. So 6x6 at 70%, so that's about 115 kilos for me this week. As you can see, not wearing wraps or elbow sleeves, just the belt, just really trying to drive through it. This was pretty easy compared to the start of the week, obviously, so it's just a nice way to end the week after doing so much. I think my form really improved a lot here, so I'm happy with that. I felt a lot more in the groove. Now doing 6 sets of this wide chest supported iso row. I cut off my head by accident, oh well. Really trying to pull with the upper traps and the upper back mainly. Really trying to disengage the lats, get a big stretch. I rest pause a lot of these sets. I rest pause most of my back training, to be honest, just so I can really take it there. Get a really good stretch, get a good contraction, as you can see, really pushing it hard. When you think you're done, keep going. 6 sets of 10 here, felt pretty good. You know your boy was definitely listening to some Pantera when this shit was going down. Oh, look at that, damn bro. And finishing off with the accessories, so I did only 2 sets of overhead tricep extensions. 50 kilos, 15 reps. This was brutal. I can usually add weight to the full stack here, but I was so cooked from all the other pressing and everything from the start of the week that I was just I was burnt out, bro. So I only did 2 sets here. I think it's all you really need because there's so much pressing, otherwise just no need, just junk volume. And finishing off, we did 3 sets of seated lateral raises. Just absolutely destroyed at this point. Hating it. Really wanted to go home. And so that's the first week done. Brutal. So much pain. My hands are killing me. But I'll see you guys in the following week. And let's keep going. Let's see how far we can take this. Let's see if we can hit the 170 bench. Let's go, bro. So thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. And remember, all publicity is good publicity. Tell me it sucks if it sucks. I don't care.